I'm Isis Romero, and this is the news in San Antonio. We've learned the identity of the 14-year-old thrown from a car Sunday. Jordan Garcia lost his life after police say he was one of 4 teens riding in a car believed to have been stolen. All 4 were thrown from a car when it crashed at a busy intersection. Garcia died at the scene. 3 other teens were rushed to the hospital. Meredith Haas spoke with Garcia's mother, who is remembering her son.
There's a memorial now for the teen that was thrown from that car Sunday here off Huebner and Fredericksburg, and his mother told me in an emotional interview she's looking for answers.
It's devastating. It's like my worst nightmare, like a parent's worst nightmare.
A nightmare that's left Priscilla Sanchez without her son, 14-year-old Jordan Garcia.
And as soon as he graduated, he wanted to go to the Air Force because when he was little, he would always point to the sky when he would see the jets at the base, and he would point and he would be like, "Mama, I'm gonna be riding the jets one day."
On Sunday morning, Garcia was thrown from a car on Huebner and Fredericksburg. San Antonio police say the car he was in was believed to have been stolen. And before it crashed, the kids inside were waving guns and taunting police.
I want people to know that that wasn't my son. That wasn't my son waving the guns. I want them to know because it wasn't him. I know wholeheartedly my son wouldn't do that.
Sanchez believes her son willingly entered the car with friends, but says he didn't know they were in a stolen car or that they had guns. She says text messages to his girlfriend show he wanted to go home.
They didn't want to take him home. They didn't want to let him off the car, and they wouldn't. That's not right.
With very little answers coming her way and a memorial to mark where her son last laid.
He opened doors for people. He loved kids. He would help me in the children's church. He had a good heart. I know him.
Sanchez is searching for answers as to why her son's life was cut short.
He had plans. He was a good person. He didn't deserve this.
When we have more information or updates from police, we'll provide them on air and online at KENS5.com. Meredith Haas, KENS 5.
The Bexar County Sheriff needs your help to identify 2 people caught on camera stealing a work truck. Deputies released this video of the 2 pulling up to steal a Dodge Ram. It happened at a home on the far north side of the city on Sunday morning. Officials say the suspects crawled under the truck to possibly turn the horn off before stealing it. If you have any information that can help deputies, call or email BCSO. You can also call Crime Stoppers. They're offering a reward of up to $5,000. HEB is facing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit alleging a car crash involving one of its workers in 2023 could have been prevented. Earl Stoudemire has the company's response.
HEB worker Manuel Mendoza Jr. was arrested on June 11, 2023 in Hays County after he was involved in a multi-car crash injuring 7 people. Since then, he pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 10 years for the crash. Now those injured are seeking compensation. The lawsuit claims HEB, security providers Universal Protection Service, and Allied Universal, along with 1A Smart Start, were negligent to prevent the crash. The lawsuit states Mendoza showed up to work on June 10th at the San Marcos HEB Distribution Center at 3 p.m. The lawsuit alleged he would use substances throughout his shift. The filing states Mendoza left work at 1:12 a.m. under the supervision of Allied Universal, a security company. Once Mendoza left, the first 911 call came at 1:34 a.m., almost 20 minutes later about the crash on I-35 North in Kyle. Investigators say he was going 100 miles per hour. According to Mendoza's arrest warrant, Kyle PD officers reported Mendoza having slurred speech, no balance, and could smell alcohol in his breath. Mendoza reportedly denied taking a field sobriety test and getting his blood drawn, but did admit he had a drinking problem and relapsed. According to the suit, Mendoza had a previous DUI conviction and was supposed to have a breathalyzer installed in his car by Smart Start, but this wasn't done. In December, Mendoza was sentenced to 10 years in prison after pleading guilty to 4 counts of intoxication assault. This morning, we asked HEB to comment, and the grocery chain responded saying it is sad to hear about the case and those involved. However, HEB stated it doesn't sell, store, or allow alcohol or drinking at this work location. The company says Mendoza was not working at the time of the crash, and his work duties did not involve driving. We also reached out to Universal Protection Service and 1A Smart Start, who are also named in the lawsuit and are still waiting for a response. In studio, Earl Studemeyer, KENS 5.
2 confirmed cases of rabies have been found in our area, less than an hour apart from each other. Jeremy Baker tells us what needs to be done to protect pets from this deadly disease.
Rabies is a viral disease that affects the central nervous system and is typically transmitted through a bite. So how do you know if an animal is rabid?
We know that typically wildlife wants to avoid humans. So it's definitely when they start acting strange or they are definitely confrontational or coming towards you, that is definitely some of the key signs that an animal might be sick or rabid.
Both rabies cases were found just about an hour apart from each other. Officials say one confirmed case was in a feral cat in Comal County. The second was found in a raccoon in the Bernie City Lake area. It was picked up by Animal Care Services June 7th after park visitors say it behaved unusually. If you come across a rabid animal like that, what should you do?
The most important thing to do is, of course, separate yourself from that animal, go inside your vehicle, inside your house, get a barrier between you, and then call the proper authorities.
And if you're bitten or scratched by a rabid animal,
the issue is more trying to prevent it, because once we have symptoms, the likelihood of survival is extremely low.
The CDC says about 4,000 animal rabies cases are reported every year in the U.S. More than 90% of the cases are found in wildlife like bats, raccoons, skunks, and foxes. This is a big change from the 1960s when mostly dogs represented the majority of rabies cases.
It's definitely important that your pets at home are vaccinated against rabies to provide them the greatest chance of survival if they're bitten or exposed to rabies.
If you want to keep up with rabies cases in South Texas, the CDC has a national rabies surveillance system to do so. We have the link with the story on KENS5.com. Jeremy Baker, KENS 5.
SeaWorld San Antonio will soon start early rise hours this summer, starting June 21st and on select Saturdays. The park will open at 8 a.m. so you can beat the heat. That opening time is 2.5 hours earlier than usual. And that's the news in San Antonio.